global platform now that Caitlin will have coming into the professional ranks. So it's really a great time to be in basketball.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
To build, you have to scale, and ultimately expansion had always been on my list. But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports here knows, like, it's a slog to be a sports owner.
How would you stop Caitlin Clark, your most valuable asset, from joining a competitor? The NBA gave the world an answer to this question just hours ago, and since then, everyone has been enamored with Caitlin Clark, a name that is synonymous with basketball brilliance.
Hi, Caitlin.
Hey, what's up, Caitlin?
Hey, Caitlin.
It's Caitlin Clark.
Famous for her remarkable range and fierce competition after being chosen by the
Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
However, new reports suggest that Clark might choose to leave the WNBA and travel to Europe in order to chase the lucrative contracts that are waiting for her. Nevertheless, the WNBA is now prepared to make an unprecedented offer of an ownership stake. It was anticipated that Caitlin Clark's entrance at the WNBA would serve as a game-changer for the Indiana Fever, who wished to keep her on U.S. soil.
I actually looked up how much the tickets are going for. I kind of cut that price in half.
Sites like SeatGeek are charging hundreds and thousands for a seat at Carver Hawkeye. She says the attention for the sport has grown a lot in the 15 years she's been a super fan.
Following an amazing college career in which she broke attendance records and drew millions of viewers, the WNBA saw Clark as their golden ticket. Her ability to draw super fan crowds increased television viewership and attendance to levels never seen by the league before made her the most anticipated rookie in recent WNBA history. The Indiana Fever, who struggled with attendance and performance, saw a sharp decline in their numbers after choosing Clark.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history.
Clarkonomics, my friend.
During her college years, during her first season in the league, Clark's games became must-watch events, resulting in some of the most viewed games in women's basketball history and an almost four-fold increase in Indiana Fever attendance. This helped the WNBA have one of its best seasons in terms of television ratings because many people believed she could completely change the franchise on her own, so her ability to draw fans wasn't just speculation.
Getting more and more people, and it's getting bigger, it's getting louder, and it's a very fun environment to be in.
Caitlin Clark was more than just a player for the WNBA. She was a beacon for the future.
Caitlin Clark is clearly a catalyst for a business that was, and let's be honest, Caitlin to some degree financially saved the WNBA. It was hemorrhaging money for years.
However, despite the excitement of her WNBA debut, the records kept rolling in, and European teams were competing for Caitlin Clark's financial security with alluring offers. Europe has a lengthy history of luring top NBA players with higher salaries and fiercer competition, which was a big lure. Players like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart have openly discussed how their financial security came from playing in Europe.
Like there's that 4-year period where you need to grow as a person, but then the NIL comes into play.
Oh,
we keep walking right back into
that the WNBA couldn't match. When Clark saw these opportunities, she began considering sending her skills across the Atlantic because of the glaring cost difference, which allows players to accept contracts from European teams that are higher than what the WNBA currently offers, increasing their earning potential.
500,000, $1 million off your NIL? Are you staying?
In reference to Caitlin Clark, given the actual ownership stake and the potential loss of Caitlin Clark to Europe offers her not only the chance to protect her financial future, but also the chance to compete globally and make a good living with several elite European teams that appear to be offering millions. In a bold move that acknowledged her importance to the league's future ownership, the WNBA gave Clark a stake in the Indiana Fever, forcing her to choose between playing in the league at home for less money or moving to Europe and earning more. This decision was unprecedented in women's sports. The Charlotte Hornets ownership by Michael Jordan offers a player and ownership stake at such a young age, which is unprecedented but demonstrates how much the WNBA values Clark and recognizes her ability to influence women's basketball in the future. Normally, stakes are reserved for seasoned athletes nearing the end of their careers or for people with significant business endeavors. The league and the Fever's ownership group see Clark as a long-term investment, and if she stays, she will not only play for the Fever sports teams, but also be involved in the team's financial decisions. Their value has skyrocketed due to their long-term strategy and growth over the past 5 years, which has been propelled by a rise in media rights agreements. Expansion of sponsorship and fan interaction worldwide, the WNBA's growth, and the overall rise in popularity of sports, the NBA, NFL, and European football leagues are where this development is most visible, but other leagues, like the WNBA, have also seen considerable increases in franchise values over the last 5 years, while NFL team valuations have increased by over 40%. Because of the new media deal and primarily because of CeCe's arrival, the MLB has grown by more than 42% and the NHL by more than 50%. The WNBA is quickly becoming the league with the most runway to follow suit after the season's attention. The Indian Fever's valuation has soared to over $90 million this year alone, which is nearly 40% growth. That's most likely only the beginning. Throughout her time in college, Clark has always been interested in more than just basketball. She spoke about growing the sport and making an impact off the court. Her ownership stake will allow her to accumulate long-term wealth and position her to become the first female basketball player to become a billionaire. She would join Impact Elite, which is exclusive to Serena Williams as the only female athlete to become the greatest of all time in their sport and amass hundreds of millions of dollars in net worth.
WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merch sales, and just overall growth.
They view Clark as a game-changing player who has the ability to raise the league above its current level rather than just a setback to the Fever, and no one gives me that in the Vice game. I wish the WNBA stakes could be higher because this ownership share gives her the chance to actually influence how a team is managed and has the potential to affect not only the Fever, but the entire WNBA. The WNBA would have missed an opportunity to grow its fan base if she had left for Europe.
Half-day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%. Between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%. Between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%. What Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially.
Acquire more lucrative sponsorships and broaden its global exposure in a league with low television viewership. Clark's arrival might boost viewership, which is now rising to levels the WNBA has never seen before thanks to these significant players. Clark's long-term participation would guarantee the league's growth. Nobody gives me the advice I need to succeed in professional sports, Caitlin. For Oza Wilson, who has dedicated herself to building her personal and professional brand within the league, giving her an ownership stake is about more than just keeping a good player in the league. It's about securing the league's future. Wilson and other NBA veterans may also see this deal as a sign that league dynamics are changing, giving younger players like Clark significant media attention, and fanfare stakes like Michael may start to get special treatment in terms of endorsements and opportunities, which could cause division in the rooms.
Nitpicking every single thing I do, and I know I want to, help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me.
Since veteran players believe their accomplishments are being overshadowed by the promise of young stars, Clark's offer would set a precedent that future generations of players could expect, thereby making veterans feel undervalued or left behind. This kind of agreement would put Clark in a special position inside the WNBA, providing her with both long-term financial stability and a voice in the Fever's business decisions. For someone like Wilson, who has gained respect and recognition for years of hard work, seeing a rookie get such opportunities could cause friction. It also signals a shift in the league's values for its younger, marketable players in comparison to its more seasoned veterans.
Not following after Caitlin Clark's been eliminated, and they're not into the league because they're conditioned by the league and
The offer of an ownership interest ultimately represents the NBA's effort to retain its most marketable talent and Caitlin Clark's growing fame, even though players like A.A. Wilson may feel jealous and irritated by this decision.
final WNBA playoff game. 2.5 million viewers.
Appreciate you. And I think that what she has done for women's basketball especially in this country, has been phenomenal. There is no woman, no matter how great you were as a player, Cheryl swoops.
Because it draws attention to a change in the league structure wherein even seasoned champions may not receive the same opportunities as centered stars due to younger media. All eyes are on Caitlin Clark. Will she accept the NBA's historic offer and join the Indiana Fever as a part owner, or will she travel to Europe like many others have done in an attempt to obtain more money up front? This unprecedented deal is likely to have an impact on the league as a whole and could potentially cause tensions among the top players.
Her playing basketball right now is a miracle. Some of the fans that were unhappy with her one play, a defensive play, called for that same tumor for her.
If Clark stays, she becomes a trailblazer and the first player owner in WNBA history. But if she leaves, it will raise even more questions about the league's ability to retain its stars. For Clark, this decision could change the course of women's basketball because it involves more than just basketball. It involves the legacy she wishes to leave behind. Caitlin Clark is in charge of the WNBA's destiny in any event. Do you believe she will accept the ownership stake and stay in the WNBA, or will she please leave your thoughts in the space provided for comments below? And don't forget to press the bell for more, like, and subscribe.